When I moved to Nashville, I rented first. I knew the market was in flux. I knew that there was a lot of stuff going on. And on a more personal level, I didn't know if I wanted to stay or not. It took me a while for me to go, all right, I'm going to pull the trigger. I'm going to stay here. I was expecting it to be a lot longer than it took. Maybe that was my fault, just given the market. I had the conversation with Jim and I was like, hey, I have this budget. This is the room count that I'm looking for. These are what I'm looking for as priority. Hey, I want a nice kitchen, all that kind of stuff. All the stuff everybody has. And Jim's big thing was we need to look around because you've given me the priority, but there's houses all over that fit that, even though the inventory's low. So let's take your budget, let's turn it into a spectrum, and let's look on the low end, let's look on the high end, and let's see where that sweet spot is. I didn't even think about that. I could be searching through Zillow or MLS all day long, but I never would have thought about that. So we picked a day that we were just going to go look. And that's how it always starts, right? We're just going to look. And I found the house that day. And whenever we walked in, I looked around and I was like, well, I got to be honest, Jim, this sucks because I want this house, but it's over my price range. It was on the higher end of the spectrum. And I was like, there's no way. And we were lamenting together a little bit, just walking through the house going like, oh, that's nice. That's nice too. What a bummer. Like, and I remember walking out of the house, Jim turns to me and he goes, if I can get it for this price, we're good. And I was like, if you can get it for that price, because it was a substantial decrease. I was like, if you can get it for that price, we'll sign tomorrow. That's fine. 2 days later, he called going, I don't know how this happened, but I got it for this price. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Now I got to get out of my apartment. My timeline was May of this year. And we started in November and I closed December 23rd. I had a 3-week close. The seller needed that. Jim is a negotiator, but beyond that, he's an advocate. He knows what's going to break you and what's going to be too soft too, right? There's probably easy negotiations that he could have played, but are you going to be happy in the house? That's what Jim is really caring about. At the end of the day, it's what's best for you. And that's why he sets up those conversations and goes, what do you want? What don't you want? And he doesn't write them down because he doesn't need to, because he cares. He gets what's best for you, and then he makes sure you get that at the end of the day. And if there's nothing there, he's not going to lie to you. He's not going to say like, well, this is your best possible option right now. He's not a salesman. They were everywhere during the pandemic. Everyone was getting a real estate license. The market was more than saturated. There wasn't a question about, hey, do you know a realtor? I probably have 7 in my phone right now, and I didn't even know it. Like, they were everywhere. And I think now you're starting to get to the point where, okay, this is the time where the good ones are standing out. These are the ones that are giving, are caring about their clientele. They're caring about the networks that they create. They're not just in it for the $3 million listings or whatever. They're in it for the career. They're in it for the service that they provide. That's what you're starting to see now. I want this to be my forever house. Life happens, all that kind of stuff. But I bought it to grow into. I'm a single guy. It's a larger house. I wanted to be able to have that flexibility to bring in a family if that happens, or to be able to grow with me. So I did plan on having the house for a long time. But we've also teed up the discussion about possibly investing and redistributing where my primary residence is to best suit that endeavor. And that's kind of the fun thing with it all. But I'm in a very unique position because I'm single. I don't have a lot of responsibilities that other people have. If you want to find a house, if you want to do the transaction and stuff like that, great, find somebody. That's cool. But if you want to bring on somebody that's going to listen to you, that's going to care about, the longevity of the purchase, that understands the magnitude of the purchase, in this market, there's no such thing as a small property purchase. I mean, it's a purchase that that's gonna stick with you for a while. So you need to have somebody that's going to go into this with clear eyes and an open heart, and that's going to be able to advocate for you and to be a friend. Because at the end of the day, that's what you need in a good advocate or consultant, which that's what I consider real estate professionals like Jim. They're not salesmen, they're advocates, they're consultants, they're advisors. They're going to let you know the good, the bad, and the ugly, and they're going to make sure that they walk you through how to make those decisions for each of those. You need to find someone like Jim, or find Jim.